Hello and welcome to the Swinging Christies, the Christie Time podcast about Agatha Christie in the swinging 60s. I'm Mark Aldridge. I've written a lot about Agatha Christie, including my book, Agatha Christie's Poirot, the Greatest Detective in the World, and my book about Marple, Expert on Wickedness, which is out in paperback now. And perhaps most excitingly, I've also co-written a new book, The Swinging Christies, with...
Hello, Grey Robert Brown here. But that is very exciting. We're both very excited about it. But we're here today, actually, to talk about another of your children, Agatha Christie's Marple, Expert on Wickedness, which is still fairly new in paperback.
It is. And in fact, at the time this goes out, we released this episode, it might not be in paperback in America yet. Oh. Because that's coming out later. We're recording this in April 2026. And the moment, the only date I've got is later this year for America.
Interesting.
So you never know. This might accidentally coincide. Maybe it will coincide
with
the paperback publication date.
All of which is to say that we're staying on the Marple theme, as is right and proper, because she is the best. I don't know. Does it feel like a gazillion years since you sat down and wrote it now?
Absolutely.
Because it kind of is a gazillion years.
Yeah,
since you sat
no,
down
it absolutely does. I think when did it come out? 2024, the hardback came out.
Yes.
And so I must have submitted it a year before that.
Yeah.
So yes, it's quite a long time. I'm definitely the point where I'm going back, and I'm sat here now with the Marple book in front of me and my Agatha Christie on screen because I want to be able to remember
fact check against yourself.
Fact check my memory as we go forward.
Murder Most Foul and all of the other Miss Marple films from the 1960s starring Margaret Rutherford are covered in beautiful detail in Marple, Expert on Wickedness, and indeed on the on-screen book. And we're going to do Murder Most Foul today because we've done commentaries now for Murder, She Said we did when Marple came out in hardback. That was, as you say, 2024. And then we did a commentary for Murder at the Gallop, which is loosely based on After the Funeral. That was to coincide with the UK release of the paperback, right? Mm-hmm. And then this, because we love it.
Well, we'll talk a bit more about it, obviously, as we go through. So I'm about to press play.
Yes, what's the code word?
Well, I would actually say Stringer this time rather than Skinner, which I managed to say last
Springer?
time. Yeah, I think I realised I was thinking of Superintendent Chalmers in The Simpsons. Go, Skinner!
No, but what was hilarious listening back to that, so for those who haven't listened or don't know, we completely got Margaret Rutherford's little sort of sidekick's surname wrong, which given that in real life the guy is her husband,
Davis,
and has the same name. It's incredible that we managed to do that. And we didn't clock for like an hour.
No, and then you said, you called him Mr. Skinner, and I think I corrected you, and you were like, wait, does that mean that you've been getting it wrong? And I was like, oh yes, I have.
The point is, it's correct in the book, and that's all that really matters.
Yes. Right, I'm going to press play before we keep chatting in 3...
No, you need the code word.
Oh, right, 3, 2, 1. The code word is... Oh, Hamlet.
Go on then.
Yeah. Ready... Hamlet! I'm going to press play now.
Okay, so you should have the Metro Goldwyn Mayer logo barking across your screen.
Barking? Do lions bark? They roar.
I mean, it looks like a bark. He's quite tame.
He's a movie actor.
And we've opened on the Pale Horse, which is slightly confusing because I thought this was an adaptation of a different Agatha Christie.
Hangman's Rest again. Do you remember that last time when we spoke about Murder at the Gallop and I said that the victim wasn't credited? I don't think the victim in this is credited either.
Oh, interesting.
Because I think obviously we don't really see her properly. But isn't that funny though? That means that both of the films don't really have an emphasis on the victim. They start with that point. It's not that they start with the murder. They don't build up to the murder because usually, if you're watching Agatha Christie, here we go, Silhouette. Oh. It's just a neck massage. Why would you think anything of that?
It's very similar to Murder, She Said.
Yeah.
To the 451 Paddington strangulation.
Yes, that's true.
In the way it's seen.
But that's it. Even policemen have to pay for their pints. Although they're closed, so you'd think that would be a bit of bribery for giving him things. But, off he goes. That's Terry Scott. later of Terry and June.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, Skinner and June. Oh, God.
Oh, God, that's really gruesome, isn't it? There's something about the noose. I feel like we are more sensitive now to things like nooses and hangings than we were then. I feel like you would not be able to put that in a... Because this is a U certificate film, and even in silhouette, I don't think you could do that. And this is almost sort of played for comedy, isn't it? Because it's scary, but also it's like, whap, whap, he's just gone for a pint. You naughty murderer. What's
it's also
all this?
so quick into the film.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, breathing space. That's...
So we're... Yeah, this is a longer film, look. It's an hour and 27 minutes, which is longer than the first two.
Which is an hour and 26 longer than my attention span.
Now, it's got to be said.
Here she is.
Yeah, there's Margaret
Rutherford as Miss
I
Marple.
love. Is she winking, or is it just an unfortunate...
No, like your cat, she's just got a bit of a lazy arm.
But this, it's not quite witness for the prosecution's Old Bailey reconstruction, is it?
No, but is that what it's trading on? The fact that we're in a courtroom? Maybe. Is it trading on the association between Christie and courtrooms at this point?
Possibly.
Sort of less than 10 years after the monstrous success of Witness for the Prosecution.
Oh, Windsor Davis too.
And so I have been known to uncharitably call Murder Most Foul standing around with Ron Moody, and I'm willing to... It's just a lot of standing around with Ron Moody. I'm willing to have my opinion changed.
This is...
But I can't say it's my favourite of the...
No, and I think this is the most forgotten of all of them. I think that this is one that actually people don't talk about as much, and it's certainly for me. I was just, when I got out Agatha Christie on screen, this is one I had the least to say about, and that's not just in terms of what I felt was interesting about it, but actually in terms of paperwork and things. So we're back to Purcell and Seddon, who did the first Murder, she said, but didn't write Murder at the Gallop.
Right.
They're back for this one.
And we should say, based on the novel Mrs. McGinty's Dead.
Yes.
As just came up on the credits, which, like the novel used last time, famously not a Miss Marple novel. A Poirot novel.
You'd think, wouldn't you, with all of these... Oh, here we go. You think that with all of these films still being so successful now, like people do rewatch them, why can't I buy these on Blu-ray? Why can I buy Endless Night on 4K, which I love Endless Night, but it seems a bit like, come on, give us nice remastered editions of these. But yeah, they're still very widely watched. Anyway, I obviously said... We will talk about Mrs. McGinty's Dead, but for anyone confused as to why I said Hamlet at the beginning, because that is where Murder Most Foul comes from.
It is.
Yes. And I thought it was worth saying, before we turn to the marvellous Margaret Rutherford there, that in Agatha's short story, Mr. Eastwood's Adventure, there is a writer in it. This is decades earlier. This is about 30, 40 years even prior to this. And this writer is thinking about his editor and realises that 10 to 1, he'll alter the title and call it something rotten like Murder Most Foul. And here we are. So can you imagine then someone sending across to Agatha a new script going, yes, this one's called Murder Most Foul. Because it's a bit of a cliche.
She was, predisposed not to be keen on it from the very off. And here's our returning Detective Craddock.
Yes, budding well.
Who I think we've had quite positive things to say about both times previously, I believe. Yeah.
So I think this premise, which is new for the film, about Miss Marple actually being on the jury and disagreeing with the result, which is a very... exactly the sort of thing that I think Agatha wouldn't have done, because it makes Miss Marple too engaged with the story. Like, she's a motivator rather than...
Yes, she has to be peripheral to some degree, both just for believability, but also because the point is that she's not centre stage, and that does pose a challenge for adapters, because the temptation is to make her, full of like very blatant agency.
Yeah.
And that's, I can't think of a better way to describe Margaret Rutherford's Miss Marple than full of blatant agency.
Oh, that tea being brought to the jury room. Again.
A couple of them have got splashes of brandy in them, surely.
But there's a real sense of this being as British as possible, isn't there? I mean, the court, obviously everyone dressed up, you can't escape that. But they're still really tying into that.
Yeah.
sense.
Well, did these do well? Were these sold internationally?
Yeah, they did quite well in America. The first one did really well in America, in New York in particular. And there are stories of
that
people,
sort of Anglophile appeal.
yeah, of them doing really well in like repeat screenings. So like Mamma Mia in this country, that groups of people would go and watch them and enjoy them. And then especially apparently women of a certain age would go with their friends and watch them and go back to the matinees and stuff.
That's great.
But that, as reported in the trade
I
press.
love the idea of like Huns with sashes on and screeching and bottles of fizz.
Yeah.
All going to see Margaret Rutherford.
I love also the fact that no more tea is the point. Like the fact that they're not bringing any more tea back into the jury room is a sign that they're done. Like, otherwise
they needn't say we've reached a verdict upon which we're all agreed.
No.
We've drunk the courthouse dry is the real signal.
And this is a great sort of, we're not able to reach an agreement. I mean, can you imagine if you were Craddock and you turned up one day and you saw Miss Marple on the jury? You'd be like, can we strike that juror?
Yeah.
I've seen The Good Wife. I know what you're allowed to do.
And they all turn and look at she looks like a naughty school kid, doesn't she? She's so great.
Who's already disturbed the judge with her knitting, which is very non-Miss Marple, but very Margaret Rutherford Miss Marple.
It's also not the Christie version of the character by this point in the films, definitely.
Yeah.
In many ways. But I sort of don't care at this point. Like, it's just fun, isn't it?
It's just entertainment, isn't it? I swear someone's wearing the hat that Dahlia Lavi's got in... and then there were none from next year. Lovely sort of animal print one in the background.
Well, as we've talked about on the Swinging Christies before, animal print was big in the 60s.
Yes.
And that's certainly the only swinging fashion that we can see in the
So this because there's a whole sort of thing about amateur dramatics and local community players and whatever in this, it means it sort of has its cake and eats it about everything being very heightened and melodramatic, doesn't it? Because you get like right there, we get to have and this is just a big old stabbing murder. That is well done, actually, that knife.
I was going to say, I've seen worse fake knives on actual stages.
Yeah, it seems to have slipped down his shirt,
this film.
but other than that. But yeah, so it means that there's this whole thing of it feeling like there's always discussion of crime and crimes going on without there necessarily always being...
Yes, and it makes it feel, the tone feel like a deliberate choice. Oh, more tea, blooming hell. But I do think... What do I think? I just think it's a lot of fun.
It is. We didn't mention, I guess, that Mrs. McGinty's Dead is again a Poirot novel. So once more,
I did mention that.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Mr. Skinner.
Oh, all right. Sorry, but one that really feels like it should be a Miss Marple one anyway. So it's got that village atmosphere.
So you're going to have to defend it to me. I'm not particularly keen on Mrs. McGinty.
Yes, I really like it.
But you seem to disproportionately like it, more so than any other Christie fan I know.
Yeah, I just really think it's a lot of fun. I think it's funny. I think it's got a really neat murder in it. I love a neat murder. I think it also does this thing of where it twists and turns in a way that I can never quite remember all of it, which is always quite good fun. And I just think...
So it stands up to reread.
It does stand up to reread.
I would agree with that.
But I would also say that I advocate it a lot just because I think it's overlooked so quickly. And I think there's a lot more to it.
I understand that. I mean, that's why I'm always wanging on about, the Passengers Frankfurt or now The Burden or whatever, because it's not that they're the best things since sliced bread, but I think they're better than their reputation belies.
Oh, there she is with horses again. Shouldn't you be riding it, Miss Marple? You've seen Murder at the Gallop. You know how you can handle a filly. Oh,
So this is Milchester.
Must be Milchester, yes.
Her fictional, the version of St Mary Mead that we have for
because there is
films.
Milchester in Murder is Announced.
Yes,
and we know that Milchester is near St Mary Mead.
Well, and doesn't she say Milchester in a Westmacott that we were just talking about?
Yes, there was. Yes, which we haven't recorded yet in the Burden.
Is that in the Burden? Yeah.
Yes, that's mentioned. Oh gosh, here she is. She's collecting things. Last time when she was collecting money from poor Mr. Enderby, he fell down the stairs and died.
Well, that's why this woman tried to trap her out. She was like, "No, I'm angel of death. I know what happens to you." I've heard Catherine Brobeck and Kemp Donovan saying what you're really like.
Yeah. Oh yes, here you go. Any old excuse. I mean, I'm just going to say right now that the one big word that really someone should be shouting at her is mistrial, mistrial, mistrial. Because a juror going out and doing their own investigation is, even if you don't end up back on the jury, is exactly the sort of thing that you cannot do.
She's called Miss Marple. Not Miss Trial. She's called Miss Marple.
Yes. So this is because there's lots of hints about what sort of person Mrs. McGinty was.
Yes, which I do remember from reading the book, and that is a good aspect to it.
Which is slightly... oh my goodness! I can't believe she said that.
SLUT. I don't even know if we can say that.
I don't think we can. But actress is code in this, isn't it?
Yes.
Like actress is code for someone of loose morals.
Sorry, what's happening?
She's trying to signal. Oh, and she's trying to make sure that she can't see what's going on outside, I think.
Oh.
Why is Mr. Stringer
Margaret Rutherford was doing what looked somewhere between playing a seagull and doing squats?
Yeah. I think it's yes. Well, no, they don't like it when the embassy does go because they've got to pay. Yeah, so now Mr. Stringer's going to distract because he had the signal. I think there's a few people who've come to Mrs. McGinty's door and they brought cash.
As opposed to chip and pin?
Well, as opposed to a cheque. She thinks it's the insurance.
What's a cheque? I'm too young to know that.
Oh, here we are, foot in the door. No, you're all right. But yes, so there is a big thing about who Mrs. McGinty actually was. So yeah, like I say, our code. Here we go. By Agatha Christie, Murder, She Said. No comma. By Agatha Christie. They've done before. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I think we said in the Murder, She Said commentary, but it's the sort of... and we get a little splice of the theme tune.
We do? And they've even got this. It's the Milchester Gazette or something, that newspaper is.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We said before that the metatextual aspects, like Christie does that.
Yes.
She'll do self-referential things. She refers to herself in The Body in the Library.
Yes.
But it's not quite done in the same way.
She likes her, Mr. Stringer, doesn't she?
Well, he's a potential future client. It's all we're watching this before the watershed mark.
I know.
It's all feeling a bit...
But I thought it was supposed to be her sister who was of loose morals.
Well...
you know. You're much too nice to be an insurance man.
Oh, sorry to any
yes, apologies.
We do not endorse on the Swinging Christies any stereotypes, preoccupations, or derogatory thoughts. We're very wholesome here.
Oh, jeez, I'd never have believed it. No. Lots of so these, in the nicest way possible, these are really efficient films, aren't they?
Oh, they are. They
so
move at a
much
lick.
we've done, but
Plotty.
Even things like the sets and stuff, they're not fancy, but you know exactly what's happening. They don't look cheap and shoddy.
Characters are established really economically.
Yes, including what they're wearing and stuff. Oh, this looks like it was a beautiful day, doesn't it? You don't really get the sense in black and white so much. It's lovely and sunny. Oh, and Wall's ice cream. Oh, there's the policeman. He's very annoyed that he didn't get his murder. What a shame. So this is the third of the 4.
It is.
Main. In Britain, in America, they got them the other way around. And I can understand that. So in America, they got Murder Ahoy before Murder Most Foul. And as we just said, this might be the least well known of the 4. And I think it doesn't quite have the strong hook that the others do, where you can immediately go, well, that's obviously the first one, and it's 450 from Paddington, and then it's the one with all the horses and stuff, and then it's
the one with all the horses.
Yeah,
that was on the poster, was it?
Yeah. Well, literally,
come and see the one.
You
with
can
all the
see
horses.
all of the horses on the poster. But this one's a little bit more, even like traditional, I guess, in some ways.
But why does that make sense? You mean to bring the franchise back on track at the end?
Well, no. What I think is that Murder Ahoy was an easier sell. That actually you can go, here's a big concept, Miss Marple in the Navy, rather than it being, and here's another Miss Marple. It's not about their relative merits, but that it's a catchier idea. Maybe looks better on a poster.
But of course, to us, the order makes a lot of sense because, broadly speaking, they get less quote unquote faithful to the Agatha Christie source material as they go along, right? 450 from Paddington is quite close. Murder Ahoy has got absolutely nothing to do with basically anything, and then the 2 in the middle are progressions away from that. So that's what makes sense of the UK order. But no, I take your point.
It's nice to be back in. I can't see if she's. I was trying to see if she's still got her telly.
It's the same set.
Yeah, it is.
They've remounted it.
But I think this, for me, is a step beyond where we were even with Murder at the Gallop, where Margaret Rutherford playing Miss Marple, enjoying acting, is very brilliant for Margaret Rutherford. But she does like her little beers, doesn't she? She had that before.
It's like P.C. Ustinov, isn't it? It's like she's more so now playing Margaret Rutherford playing Miss Marple rather than
As you know, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't say, I wish that they had done a more faithful version of Miss Marple, because then these films wouldn't be these films.
Yeah.
And I think she is such an integral part of their success because,
it
ain't the scripts. And to be honest, it's often not the supporting cast.
There's a telly.
TV.
Yeah. I was waiting for it, but Mr. Skinner Stringer's noggin was in the way. You couldn't see it.
And right next to it's one of those dogs that everyone has, and you see all the time in things like Coronation Street and stuff, those little ornamental dogs. I don't know what they're called. But they usually come in pairs. I remember Hilda Ogden coveted a pair once. There, do you see?
They were ducks, weren't they?
No, that's separate.
Oh, right.
You can't hang a dog on a wall. Ducks go up walls.
Well, you could, but
there's the other dog behind Craddock. Here you go. He's coming to tell you off, but he's got a glint in his eye now.
Yeah, I think the glint in his eye is looking at the beer, though.
Yeah, so possibly.
They've got a nice relationship now, and they did in the last film as well. They established that very quickly.
Yes, they did,
and you can tell the actors like working together, and their chemistry is good.
Because it's difficult, isn't it? Because you don't want to completely abandon the idea that this takes place in the real world. Like you want to make sure that the police are there,
but they haven't completely.
Yeah. So you end up having this sort of
like a compromise.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you'd have Miss Marple in jail all the time for interfering with criminal cases. But
I mean, I'd see that if that's the secret fifth film, I'd watch that.
You're getting older and you're like, it looks a bit drafty, that cottage, It's all very open, but it's a nightmare to heat.
Congratulations, viewers. We made it, what was that, 20 minutes or something before Mark alluded to his incoming retirement or death.
Just getting old.
Us?
Yeah.
I'm getting younger, mate.
On the inside, I assume. But this is all this stuff, because I remember in the book, the stuff about the newspaper cuttings and in terms of the old newspaper reports are always really nicely reproduced. At least are in my editions, which I always appreciated. It's like when you see a floor plan or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always would enjoy that in a novel. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. So this, I know it wasn't a Miss Marple novel, but all three of the novels that we've used for this series now are 50s novels.
Yeah.
And we did comment, when we watched Murder, She Said, we commented on how comparatively recently to the film, the book had been out. It was only really a few years, even though you feel like 50s and 60s. It's the end of the 50s to the start of the 60s. And this book's only about 10 years old.
Sorry, I'm just noting.
Gin,
give me the gin. But calling Mr. Stringer Jim, then we're well into the bit of them being much less.
Oh, I thought you said gin, like vodka.
No, JIM.
Right.
This is the YMCA, Jim.
Well,
they're going to be doing
They've got to be quote unquote together by this point, haven't they?
There was a slight glint in her eye when they were discussing. He was talking to Mrs. McGinty's sister about his marital status or otherwise.
Yeah.
I love the idea of, well, we'll see, but Miss Marple staying at the YMCA. Have you ever seen Can't Stop the Music, the Village People film?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's extraordinary.
God.
They all go to the YMCA at one point so they can sing YMCA. It's very complicated. Let's not go into that. There's lots of rights things about who is the Village People and who isn't.
Oh, right, okay.
But anyway, I would be very happy to see Miss Marple perform a Village People medley, but I don't think we're going to get it, alas.
So we're well in the Amdram local theatre world that we're going to occupy for basically the rest of the film now, aren't we?
Yeah, a couple of familiar faces here. Got James Bolam, who'd go on to be a likely lad.
Oh my God! New Tricks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was all right looking. A little unique looking, but
yes. And Francesca Annis, who ends up being
is that on the right with the fringe?
Yeah. I'm going to say yes. Yes. She does look very different in this, because I know that this is one of those points where you have to sort of look up. You see on the credits, Francesca Annis is in it, and I was almost waiting for her to turn up, and I had to work out when I was in it. I'm really bad at faces anyway, which is why I got Robert Urquhart and Denham Elliott mixed up in our last commentary.
Not that you're still beating yourself up.
Oh my God, I will do. I'm just checking that is Francesca. Yeah, it is. It's got to be.
Here's our other star, named as the co-star along with Margaret Rutherford in the opening credits before even the title.
That's Francesca Annis.
Oh, so the one without the fringes is Francesca Annis.
Yeah, sorry, I took it back. But
the woman with the fringe looks very swinging.
Yeah, look, they're both together, both the women together. It was because the only thing I can really remember of Francesca Annis in this is she's sort of kooky, but it's Alison Seabohm, is the lady with the fringe,
right? And now Marple is auditioning for some reason. Because
you've got Academy Award winner Margaret Rutherford.
Any
excuse to get her do a little monologue.
Yeah, well, and I guess in the logic of the piece, which is not very Christie's as Miss Marple, but in the logic of this piece, she's trying to gain the trust of these people so that she can get to the bottom of what's going on.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it does all have a logic, and it definitely has a logic from the Miss Marple we've seen Margaret Rutherford be, who will happily pretend to be,
she's a master of disguise, isn't she? Yeah. And will stop at nothing to get to the bottom of the crime that she's witnessed or experienced or been near or what have you, and that's what's happening now. She seems to have some flowers shoved down her bra.
Yes, she does.
Is that deliberate?
Going to say it's a theatrical flourish. That's what it
they
is,
are they're a very strange breed, actors.
Oh, I know. You have to work with them all the time.
I know, I'm friends with many of them. Not all of them, though, I must say. You know who you are. Sorry if you're listening. How strange. Why are they in there? What are they doing nestling in there?
Yeah, I think it's just to make her stand out. But yeah, that is new.
Just to make her stand out?
Well, on stage.
Next time we do an event, you want to stand out. You're going to shove some flowers down your cleavage. Yes, but get to the point. Ron Moody says, yeah, well, quite.
Yes, see, we are really indulging in now. Margaret Rutherford is the star and we're going to do anything we can. We're going to follow her because it feels like we've really lost the thread of the murder stuff already really quickly, which is why I think this is perhaps the most wobbly in some ways because for all of its flaws in Murder Ahoy, it's got a quite specific narrative thrust.
I guess you can't help but be a bit more focused if you're trapped on a boat. Yeah. Whereas, this is a bit. Well, it's also a showcase for Ron Moody, isn't it? It's a showcase for both of them very directly and very clearly, which makes sense if you're appearing to the contemporary.
You bring him up.
I just think, you know what you say about Murder, She Said, sort of ends up, and I think Agatha herself said this, sort of ends up just a lot of sons in rooms, as in men in rooms, kind of talking about their inheritance. I just think this one ends up just sort of chatting with Ron Moody. I think that's just where we go, and it kind of loses, like you say, it loses that excitement from the start. No offense to Ron Moody, you know, he's a very good actor in other things.
Yes, was nearly Doctor Who.
Yeah. You can see it in like what he's wearing now and his stature and everything. You can kind of see it. Famously Fagin from Oliver, which was a big film of the 60s. We've talked about on the podcast before. Sort of, I mean, arguably kind of part of that 60s revivalist trend of picking back through the Victorian era. Played into that was Lionel Bart's version of Oliver.
Yeah, which he's playing now again. I saw a poster
it is
for it.
On the West
and
End.
It was like it's now in the second year. I thought, oh my God, I hadn't noticed it was in its first year. It's funny how things can pass you by.
I think people assume it's been there forever.
Yeah. So the poster's a bit weird.
Well, it's the old post. I'm sure it's like the 60s imagery.
Well, I quite liked what it was in terms of like the background is like this watercolour of a child, presumably Oliver, in front of London.
Presumably Oliver,
Yeah, in the background. But then it's got this photo of Fagin, presumably, in front. But I don't know who plays Fagin, but whoever they are, they don't get their name on the poster. So I presume they're not a star name. It just feels really incongruous. And I have to say, I don't know. I'm saying it now, and it's live recording. It's not a brilliant photo of whoever's playing Fagin because it looks a little bit amdram.
These people we don't even know who are catching strays from you.
I know. But it's my opinion. It's my opinion, and it put me off seeing it. Well, because I felt like I was going to go and see like a community production of it. So there we go. I said it.
Wow.
I'm just giving you helpful feedback. There's nothing wrong with community production if you're paying community production prices. If you're paying West End. Oh my goodness. Police are out now.
You've been busy moaning about Ron Moody, and I
haven't been moaning about Ron Moody.
We've got a police chase, and we've got another body. Yeah. He collapsed on stage.
Oh. Arsenic, I'd say.
Which is,
and if all the suspects could gather around, please.
In your costumes.
That would be, and just, could we contaminate the whole crime scene? That would be really handy.
Collapsed on stage, which is neatly foreshadowed by that moment when they're playing with the fake knife in rehearsals, of course.
Indeed, and it's almost as if they are listening to us, because that was also at the point where I was like, could do with the murder.
Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah. Yeah, it needs a shot in the arm and a refocusing back.
And but I love that these are obviously jokes about actors by writers who have experience of them, because the idea that, whatever, of course there's been a murder, but the show must go on.
Yeah.
But will it ruin our performance?
Well, we quote the Victoria Wood sketch all the time, which is relevant to your code word, your starting word, Hamlet. Would you like to give your rendition of it? No. When Julie Walters is in front of the curtain.
Yes.
And
it might be Hamlet, but it's got to be fun.
It's got to be fun. Yes.
Yes, I think I just got confused as to which of the young women is the sort of psychic. Because that's another thing where you go, where's that come from? Do we need another thread? And I think I thought it was Francesca Annis. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's that other woman.
Spike Milligan poster in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Miss Marple lurking.
Yeah, nice little mirror shot there.
They get their money's worth out of her, though, don't they? She's in almost every scene. She really does dominate these films in a brilliant way.
Yeah, and that's what I think is quite telling about how she becomes increasingly prominent, like once they realise, because I think she's more prominent in this than she was in the first.
Yeah.
I felt like we had scenes with, the servants and stuff that were away from Miss Marple, whereas now you're going, no, it's got to be Miss Marple. Me.
But we're saying we love her, and we do, but also in a way that's to the film's detriment ultimately, because it kind of sucks all the air out of the stories, and it leads you to these increasing leaps of suspensions of disbelief, that are called upon from the viewer.
Just getting me Agatha Christie on Screen book out now to remind myself of anything that I think might be interesting. Oh, well, I love her hat. I mean, that's the most interesting thing.
Her hat?
Yeah, it's nice.
She's still got that blooming flower stuck down her bosoms. So weird. Rose by any other name.
Yeah.
Another Shakespeare quote. For all this version's veering away from real Agatha Christie, the film, like Agatha Christie's texts, do place a very high price on Shakespeare.
Yes. And there is something about these being very heightened, even more so now than initially, because it felt like initially in the other. I'm just getting my books out.
Oh, he's reached for his copy of Agatha Christie's Marple, Expert on Wickedness, out in paperback now.
It is out in paperback now. Oh, look, we are Murder Most Foul. Oh, got some nice pictures there. Sounds like this would be perfect if people wanted.
It's a good gift, isn't it? It's a good gift
for anybody.
And, if we're in for a cold winter, kindling. Or if you've got a door that won't stay open.
Yeah.
It's about 400
or
pages.
If you need to build a small house, then
murder
weapon.
If you need to beat someone about the head.
Yeah.
Get the hardback. There's probably some still in stock.
There are some still in stock. I could tell you the budget was £148,000
for your book.
Yeah, and don't ask me what that is in modern money
for the film.
But it is an inexpensive film, but it's not like a super cheapy either. It's not like it's.
Do you know off the top of your head? Are we going up film by film, or are they
very
cost,
slightly? Right? Very slightly. There are increases. Yeah. Oh, I'm learning loads looking at this. Francesca Annis. Oh, yes. She plays Sheila. Francesca Annis here. Oh, that's it. Yes, it is. So it's Eva McGonagall, who is the one with the powers of premonition. Whereas it's James Bolam, of course, his fiancée is played by Francesca Annis.
That's a great shot. There's sort of a low
and they've got
angle
a ceiling
and then
on.
A high angle. They put a ceiling on the set.
Yeah.
These are almost noir-y kind of shots.
Yeah. Oh, I've got some lovely stuff here about Agatha's reaction, but I'm going to save them for later in the film because I've got some stuff about critics and things as well.
Not critics.
Oh, I know.
Never listen to the critics, Mark.
I agree, unless they're giving us awards.
Even then, they must be wrong.
Oh, here we go. And thank you to David Braun, who is my editor, our editor now,
who for the Swinging Christies book forthcoming.
Who did wrote the captions for the illustrations in the book. So I'm learning things here because in the Czech Republic, This film was called, you'll like this, Gray. It was called That's What She Said.
You're joking.
No.
How brilliant.
Yeah, so there's a poster with...
Is
a
it...
little bit difficult to make out. Was
it co-funded by World of Wonder Productions? The RuPaul's Drag Race production company.
In Spain, 3 Crimes, 1 Killer. Spoiler! And another campy one. In Germany, 4 Women and a Murder. Yes.
Who are the 4 women?
Miss Marple in the Spotlight, or Lady Detective in the Spotlight in Belgium.
Okay.
The Lady Detective Takes to the Stage in France. Murder on Stage in Italy. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So I'm looking at the British poster here, which has got a sort of caricature, a fairly unkind one, I would say, of Margaret Rutherford. She's not looking her best, looking at a dead body. And over the dead body, it is Ron Moody's nice big caption saying, co-starring Ron Moody.
Honestly, you're obsessed with Ron Moody. It is just a fun name to say as well. It is. Ron Moody.
Yeah. How are you feeling today? I'm a bit Ron Moody. Okay. Yeah. How about you?
Oh, you're a bit Ron.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
You're giving Ron.
How
That's what
how
he
was
said.
Last night? Oh, a bit James Bolam.
We haven't even had a drink. Well, actually, we have, but a few hours ago.
One drink at lunch. Name your poison, dear lady. I mean,
I just did. It was a beer.
Yeah. Again, it does make me think of Coronation Street and Ina and everyone having their stout
Elsie.
in the
You're
in the
about
snug.
ready for the knackers yard. You are. For the forthcoming Swinging Christies book, I did a lot of deep diving into early Coronation Street for the 1963 chapter.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are some great Coronation Street quotes in there.
Love early Coronation Street.
So good.
The first, honestly, if you're listening, ITVX, there aren't that many compared to other things. You've got them all digitized. I know what's in your archive. Stick them all up on ITVX. They've got tiny casts. Won't cost you anything.
Yeah, there's a selection on the premium version, isn't there? But not. Yeah, there's only sort of 3 a year or something.
Yeah. I've got the DVD sets. So I've got 10 a year or 8 a year or something. And a load of others. But they're still big.
Hello to our American listeners. We do value you as well. You're probably thinking, what the hell are they talking about?
Oh, here we go. He's acting.
I'm acting.
Yeah.
a Drag Race quote for you there?
Yes, come on, Bill. And also headband. Because again, we are in the 60s, and this idea of rep actors is something that doesn't really exist now. The idea that you would, the same group of actors would do different plays every other week, and that you would rehearse one play whilst you were performing the other. I
remember reading about that I remember reading about it many years ago in Elizabeth Sladen's biography. She would have been doing it in the 60s and 70s.
I guess she would have, yeah.
And recently read Judi Dench's book, and she talks at great length about that as well. But yeah, you're right. That's just that just doesn't really exist in the same way.
No. But I mean, what a training ground where you would do loads of different plays, and sometimes you would have you'd have the part of the maid, and the next week you might be Lady Macbeth. It's
kind of like your life, isn't it? Sometimes you're the maid, and sometimes you're Lady Macbeth.
It's true.
Sometimes you're full of grandeur, and other times you've got to wipe down the surfaces in the kitchen.
Someone's got to do it.
A cat can look at
Ron Moody ain't gonna do it. You know what you're doing. And again, my love of sets with levels. Love when there's steps
nice stairs
down.
There. It didn't look dissimilar to sets we've seen in the previous 2 films.
No.
But I mean, that makes sense because it's all just in storage in Ealing, isn't it?
Going down the list.
Ealing, Elstree.
Going down the Boreham Woods and going, In stock. Take that from stock. Yeah, we'll put some new wallpaper on it, and that'll be fine.
No male callers, she said to us. Even now we're still on.
She knows what Mrs. McGinty's like.
Yeah, there's still an undercurrent of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
sort of hidden behind all this campery and frivolity, and there's still a very real awareness of real life for people.
But this funny thing that I remember seeing in Prick Up Your Ears, the Joe Orton, and the film of the Joe Orton's life is also called Prick Up Your Ears, and they did actually film in the flat that Joe Orton lived in, I believe so. But even if you didn't, the point is that when I was looking at it and watching it, you just go, the 60s is not that long ago, and yet things like not being able to get access to hot water, like by default you wouldn't necessarily have hot water, or you might have to have it brought to you from the one hot tap, or for it to be warmed on a kettle or something. You think the way the world has changed, we just don't always think about that stuff is just... that's going to be freezing there. There's going to be, if you're lucky, you get, the basic facilities. Yeah. One bathroom shared between 1 million people, whatever.
Well, I know you've not seen it, but I always think of, there's an older secretary character dies in Mad Men, sort of midway through, and she... going by the date, she must have lived similar. The fictional character would have lived similar dates to Christie. And when someone eulogizes her, Bert eulogizes her, and he says I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says she was born, in a barn in poverty, and she died on the 30th floor of a skyscraper. Yeah, she was an astronaut. These people's lives, that what they saw. You often say this, that what the innovations that Christie saw within her lifetime, and really on the Swinging Christies, we see the culmination of that, the acceleration through the 60s, but where we came from in 1890, you just think, and we've just done it on Westmorpod, the way the world changes between... I've loved that, tracking from 1930, when Giant Spreaders published the first Westmorcott, to 1956, when the last one is released. It's super fascinating.
Yeah. Oh. So, Francesca Annesley, I don't think I actually said, but it's tuppence from the Partners in Crime series in the early 80s. And I just think, she's beautiful here and she's beautiful there. I just can't see that it's the same person. And I think that says a lot about how well styled she is in Partners in Crime, as much as anything, actually. Because her hair and everything is very sort of pulled back. Her face is really exposed and everything. But,
I guess, and it's quite a different performance, I guess. So it's a credit to her. Mr. Stringer is jogging in his...
Yes,
in his
that's a very
shorts.
non-1960s thing, isn't it? Like, jogging really takes off in the sort of late 70s into 80s. Still?
He's not wearing a shell suit, though.
No, he's not. He's got his flat cap on, just like you've always got your cap on. He doesn't want to ruin his hair either.
I don't wear a flat cap, to be clear.
No. Said it was a beautiful day earlier, and now we can see their breasts, so they clearly...
But the film is set in May, I think, isn't it?
But we did see dates, didn't we? I didn't notice what they were.
I guess you do, in England, you do have bright sunny days in May, and also days where you can see your breath. That probably checks out.
Yeah. Another marvellous hat, and another... This might well be the famous cape as well that she's wearing here.
Oh, yeah.
That pops up in Doctor Who: The Demons.
Dare I say...
You dare?
I dare, and I do it now. That this film feels less swinging than the last one.
I agree, and I think it's...
Sorry, say that again.
I agree.
Make a note. Mark Aldridge agreed with me.
And I think there's something about the immediate sort of selection of characters, maybe, and the way that they're brought in, but also that we do feel, because we're in this theatrical world, like we're slightly outside of the real world anyway. And I appreciate that both the previous two films have had their own little closed circle-ish of, like, obviously the Gallops, and then at the prior to that, the Krakenthorpe or whatever mansion. But this does feel a bit like it could be any time and anywhere. Like you could relocate this and you could say it's California, and actually I think it would still work.
Yeah. Is that because the actory types that this is depicting are, by definition they're a bit sort of lovey and a bit old fashioned, and do you know what I mean? It's just not got that. You can't imagine Margaret Rutherford doing the twist in this one. No. Which we've just come from.
And I guess that is the thing about the references are different. The references here are to things like more Shakespeare and plays.
Yeah.
And,
here he is. Ron Moody. I do think he's a great actor, by the way.
You're going to keep on
the Ron Moody fan club are going to be... I know slagged off Sayers earlier. I'm going to get everyone coming for me. I'm cancelled. The Swinging cancelled. Grey Robert cancelled.
And it'll be interesting. Well, we'll see, because we will have spoilers eventually. But if I were watching this, I'd be like, well, obviously Ron Moody's done it. Because he's the other
star.
Big star. And it's not like he's... Whereas in the other films, when you've had bigger stars coming in, who were, essentially the male equivalent of Miss Marple, like someone from Rutherford to play off against, I never felt that they were seriously set up to be suspects.
No.
But whereas here, I think that he is a bit...
yeah. I guess to keep him sweet, to give him something to play, because he was such a big name, and it's a bit of a coup to get him.
And I wonder if the writers of this actually saw the second film. Because
That's
actually
true,
the turnover was so quick
that
they might have gone and immediately wrote this after Murder, She Said.
Yeah.
And the Murder at the Gallop might be completely separate to that.
God, I mean, nowadays it takes 3.5 years for TV to pull out 6 episodes.
Yeah.
But they churned these 4 films out in 5 years, less than.
Yeah. Yeah. But that just says how people visited the cinema differently as well. That actually you would get full film series, which I won't say isn't a thing. Of course, you get your Marvel movies and stuff.
Franchises
not in this, not in this sort of same way.
No,
as to where you might have.
But we have TV that's almost on a level with film doing that now, don't we?
Yes.
And on streamers and things. So I guess there's less call for it in the same way.
Yeah, and our closest now really is things like Knives Out movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But actually, if you something like Poker Face, which is an anthology sort of mystery of how are they going to catch them series, that feels very much like the sort of thing that you might have had at the cinema.
Yeah.
That's it. That was a nice little bit of
there are a few little directorial flares that feel like a more serious film.
Yeah,
that don't feel like comedy.
Filthy
direction.
Attic in Soho, heart of London, square mile of vice. See, it's starting to get a bit. Although that could be any.
Well, they're doing the Rats.
Yeah, yeah. That's the chest that.
It's wicker. You can't fit a body in that.
Honestly, try hard enough, you can fit a body in anything.
Don't make eye contact with me when you say sinister things like that. The blood would seep out very quickly.
Delinquent son Stanley.
These are the things that an unpublished play, Miss Perry. These are very close to lines of dialogue in that, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, he just fell through the stage.
Whee! That was a bit of fun. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I know you whooped. I like his glasses,
Yeah.
Quite modern.
Yes. Oh.
This is what I mean, though. Standing around with Ron Moody.
It is standing around. Or, I mean, I feel like we have had very little of the other actors.
Yeah.
Just generally, but also why aren't we getting to see them chat with Miss Marple? Like we're I'm gonna have to check. We are 50 minutes into the film. We've got just over half an hour left, and I feel like we can't really seriously assess
anyone else.
Yeah,
with that
who's
brief
hiding
scene
a
of the girls with the
But Miss Marple wasn't there.
No,
like, I want Miss Marple to be making some sort of judgment.
Well, she's on the phone.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And he's on back projection.
Yeah, he's got not a green screen, but the 63
Pebbleston on Sea, goodness.
He appears to be opposite the Bank of England, which is an odd place to make a phone call.
Oh, Lord Chamberlain's office, which is very helpful because many things have turned up thanks to Lord Chamberlain's office, which, as we discussed in Swinging Christies' book,
we do, yeah,
is where you would send a script to be censored, basically, because they still had to check stuff. So it meant that they kept copies of scripts as well, which is really handy for like lost scripts.
How many more times? Sometimes good things can come from draconian censorship.
Oh, you're always saying that. All the time.
To be very clear, as we all lurched to the right. That was definitely a joke.
Oh, it's still got the A and the B things. So you could decide whether you were going to deposit your money or not.
Oh.
You got too scared. A button to say someone's picked up and I want to speak, and B for returning my money.
I never knew that's what they were, but then I'm so terribly young, you see.
Well, they weren't around when I was young. I just understand historical context. Like,
really? They weren't...
Things.
You didn't...
No, absolutely. No, we just relied on telegrams and send parchments via pigeons.
Hieroglyphics.
Bit of semaphore if it were urgent. Dear. Now, when someone is loading a gun on stage, you can be pretty sure that there's going to have been a mix-up in a murder mystery. This is not Chekhov's gun. This is Rutherford's gun.
So, sorry, he just said LaPlante. LaPlante?
Yeah, LaPlante. There's one of the character names.
Yeah.
As
in Linda.
Maybe because that's not her real name, is it, Linda?
Is it not?
I don't think so.
Maybe she was inspired by this.
And she's in an Agatha Christie. She's in one of the
she is.
ones in the late 70s.
Circles and in circles. Yeah. How brilliant. But she wasn't writing this early.
No. Oh. Gosh, she's like, I finally get something to do. It's just getting up off the stage.
Yeah. She's giving Rodney's girlfriend from Only Fools and Horses.
Yes,
like a bit,
Cassandra.
A bit like the Fringe itself is making her do her.
I agree.
As the Scots would say.
Another thing I always think about when you see these films is, God, imagine getting up having to wear a suit and a tie every day. What a bore.
He says in his comfies.
Yeah.
And slippers.
I am.
And pleated slippers.
Yeah. God, I am proper comfy
and fleece.
Today.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Well, we can't all be wearing a comfy jumper over a comfy t-shirt.
And yoga trousers.
Are they yoga trousers? Is that what they are?
Yeah, I can't say I'm exactly in a three-piece suit, but...
This is quite fun, though, isn't it? That everyone gets to... Not everyone, but several get to sort of play act at being... murderers or bad, because that's what they're playing, which you see right from the beginning.
But maybe it is a bit static though. Maybe this would be a better play.
Do you know? I think that's a really good point.
I was due one.
Yeah, I think that's
clever.
Really true. Yeah. That this would be a better play. Could you imagine if Margaret Rutherford did actually do it for like 6 months in the West End?
Yeah,
and you could go and see it. It would be like,
it would have been a smash hit.
It would have been, and it would have been the sort of thing that people of my age, our age, would, who were not around at the time.
It's a broad old church, isn't it? Our age.
Would, you go, I just can't believe I never saw it. Because Jeremy Brett played Sherlock Holmes on stage.
Really?
Yeah, and I'd love to have seen that. But, before my time, alas.
It's a performance that would work on stage.
Yes.
In a way that I'm not sure I could see Joan Hickson's Marple on stage in the same way.
Dare I say, though, that you might, if you watch this on stage, you'd be like, it's not as tightly plotted as Agatha's other stage plays, is it? And the clues aren't really there.
Oh, no. Yeah. Have we, you'll be more familiar with, you'll have reread Miss McGinty's Dead more recently than I, I'm sure. We've fully moved away from the plot at this point. pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the whole theatrical stuff and everything is all very new. The very basics of who done it and who died, they're still...
Like, we come back to it.
Yeah, we come back to it. But the whole shape of this is different. So
is it fair? Is there an argument? Could I mount an argument that the sort of the theatre set grounding for this version of this story actually more borrows from those sequences on the film set in The Mirror Cracks, an actual Miss Marple novel? Isn't there? Maybe spoiling things. Isn't there a bit where something falls from the rafters and almost kills someone?
I think there might be.
Which is, lifted from Mirror Cracked, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yes. And again, it does make you go, I wonder if the writers read it, because who knows, frankly.
Yeah. But then that would have been a very recent Miss Marple novel at the time, probably the most recent Christie novel at the time that these writers would have been writing this film. So
it's the same year.
It makes sense that even though they weren't legally allowed to be adapting that one, it makes sense that they might have even subconsciously drawn inspiration from that.
Yeah. I do. That is slightly a cliche as well. I mean, I've seen that in many. Columbo or whatever.
I've got half a memory of. Do ITV Marple do it in? They do it with mirrors. Do they do something like that?
It is in the book if they do it with mirrors.
A thing falling.
Yeah, because they've got they've got their own little stage, their own play that they're putting on, and so in some versions someone dies from it, and in some versions they actually recover. Yeah. I think the BBC one, they don't die as they do in the book, or is it the other way around? But
right. But see, that makes more thematic sense because the whole thing is about the stage, which is not a literal stage, of the murder, the way that it's done in a way to mislead you, like magical stagecraft and misdirection.
Talking of Mrs. McGinty's Dead as a book, though, when I was researching for Marple, I found that in the press book for this, which is, I guess is what it says, where it's lots of publicity photos and posters, and they're sent out to places like bookshops and stuff to say this is why you should publicise this film, because it will tie in with here's a competition you could run, and all sorts. But they had a picture of the Fontana paperback reprint of Mrs. McGinty's Dead, and in the version in the press kit, they had a little sticker on it, or like a round bit that said filmed as Murder Most Foul. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And there was a whole thing about how much you could use it, and in the end it is mentioned on the back cover, but I'd said, and it never got used. And then after the book came out, somebody did send me a photo and said, I actually have got one. And it was a physical sticker that went on some copies that said, filmed as Murder Most Foul. So I'm still finding things, but that is one of my two holy grails at the moment that I'm looking for. If anyone's got one and would like to send me one, that'd be lovely, because it's only a sticker. But I would just love to have one that has got the actual sticker on that says as available as Murder Most Foul.
Because I didn't see one of those Rutherford novelizations in the shop in Wantage near my sister's.
Yeah, that probably would have been after the funeral.
Yes,
which is the only full tie. Well, that and 450 from Paddington are the only ones that are proper tie-ins. So 450 from Paddington's got a nice photo of Margaret Rutherford,
which of course makes sense because Miss Marple is actually in the book.
That's no problem.
After the funeral, with a picture of Rutherford on, Christie objected to for being misleading.
Yeah, no male friends in room. At least he's saying that with a smile on his face. He knows he's being cheeky.
Is he going to propose to her at the end? Because she's been proposed to at the end of the other two films.
I mean, it's the way it's supposed to work, although theatrical men, who knows?
You know what they say about theatrical men.
Well, he's married to the theatre, darling, anyway.
Yeah. The cause. She's finally taken that blooming flower.
Yeah, I love this new sort of...
it's nice, isn't it?
Like a rose on a hat.
We've got a bit of thunder and lightning.
She's
for a bit
slightly
of Atmos.
funeral dressed, I have to say, but still.
Well, I guess, if this is post Murder at the Gallop, then we're after the funeral.
Oh,
I'm not going to say anything for the rest of the commentary now. That's the most brain power, and that's the funniest, cleverest thing I could think of. I'm done now.
There she is. Oh, that's it. Check no one's in there and then have a good old snoop. I feel like we're well overdue this snooping.
Yeah, it feels like she's doing early investigation work.
Yeah.
But 2/3, almost 3/4 of the way through the film.
She's been really active in terms of like the play, but she's not been very active in terms of actually getting clues together.
No.
And, nice bit of business.
They worked it out in the Acton Hilton, darling.
Oh. There you go. She learned nothing. That's why she didn't snoop earlier.
Yeah.
Because we've learned nothing.
Great. The director's having a bit of fun with on the light and shade and shadow and
very
spotlights,
nice. Which is one of the reasons why it's nice that these are black and white. And I know that I would, like I said, I would love for one of them to have been in colour, just because I think it's 60s, especially when you get glimpses of London or something. I always love to see that in colour.
Yeah.
But there's no denying that these do work in black and white.
I think the alphabet murders would be a bit more bearable in colour.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
And then you get the best of both worlds, because then you get to see that lovely cameo from Margaret Rutherford and Mr. Stringer in colour.
One little look. It's a typewriter. That's it. I love this clue. This cannot be an Agatha Christie invention, this clue, I assume. But, that typewriters have got their own distinct fingerprint. And I'm sure that was true, because they are funny things.
Oh, definitely, it is true. I mean, they're working machines, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's not like one of those things where a film says, "Oh, this looks like this," and you look at it and you go, "It doesn't really." Like, there is genuinely a idiosyncrasy to the.
Yes. Yes, because there's a few, isn't there? Obviously, we get it in the moving finger and stuff.
Well, and she worked with typewriters almost every day of her life.
Yes,
for a good chunk
portable.
Of it. So she knew what she was talking about, and then she works with dictating machines a lot, and she has some interesting thoughts on those and brings them into various plots as well.
Do you know that I've typed on Agatha Christie's typewriter?
I didn't know that. What did you type?
What do you think I typed?
Miss Marple?
Murder. That was Joe's suggestion, actually. So it's at the family archive, and I said, "Do you think I can touch it?" He said, "Oh, how about you type one word?" I said, "Oh, what word?" And he said, "Murder."
And you said supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, because I want to get the most out of this experience.
Yeah. I was just light touch of the keys, just to feel that you were touching the same keys that she'd used to type. Well, she would have written "Murder on the Orient Express" on that one, actually.
But he slapped your hand away.
He was like, it was a trick.
Orient Express.
Yeah, you felt. Oh, she's got a selfie stick.
What is it?
It's a mirror on the brolly so that she could see out.
It does look like a selfie stick.
It really is a selfie stick.
Margaret Rutherford invented the selfie stick. That's phenomenal. I won't hear anyone say that she's not modern. A thoroughly modern Marple.
Oh, here's Nora Batty. Hilda Ogden.
And with her curlers in.
Right, as we move towards the last act, I'm going to dig out some reviews and some of what
Russell.
Agatha Christie thought of this, so that we're not talking over the denouement.
Russell. So yeah, Mark's Marple book goes in stages through every major Marple entry that there is in the English language, and a bit beyond. And so there's a whole section on each of the Rutherford films, isn't there?
Yes.
And indeed the Alphabet Murders, which, as I say, features is an MGM Poirot film, which features a cameo from Margaret Rutherford as Miss Marple, which, to be honest, is the best thing about the film.
So when Agatha Christie heard that they were going to be adapting Mrs. McGinty's Dead, she was unhappy that it was going to be another Poirot novel. So she wrote to Lawrence Bachman, the producer, to say, "Have you got to use all the Poirot books for featuring Miss Marple?" she also said, it seems odd when you have so many Marple books. Now, we discussed that actually Body in the Library is the only novel that was available, really.
Although why they didn't do that, I don't know. I know you've said before that's the one they would have done after Murder Ahoy. That's correct. Had they had the chance.
Yeah. And she said, it involves me in a lot of correspondence who write to me pointing out that Miss Marple was never in that book. As the story is not going to be anything like the book anyway, it seems unnecessary. And as ever, she's underplaying the fact that actually her name is such a big attraction that to say it's based on a Agatha Christie book.
But also slightly shooting herself in the foot there because, of course, they take that correspondence... Oh, she's burned it under the iron. And she's getting rained on. Body.
There's lots of gassing in this. Someone tried to gas you in the last one, didn't they, Miss Marple? But you think, succeeded. But yes, of course,
Christie saying that is partly what leads them for the next film to go, well, fine, if she doesn't want us to insert Marple in her stories that didn't have Marple, then we'll insert Marple in her own story, which of course is exactly what she doesn't want. It's even worse, in fact.
Well, Agatha Christie did say that she thought Mrs. McGinty's Dead was one of my best books, and she particularly didn't like them doing it for that reason. And did say that
I will read it. I will with an open mind. It was never.
I haven't read it for a long time actually. I might read it when I'm on my holes.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of Lynx at the moment, which I'm loving, but I think that's underrated.
Maybe I'll read a lot of short stories recently. I've been really enjoying dipping in and out of just random ones rather than reading whole collections. Just doing I'm going to do a little adventure story today, and I'm going to do a Miss Marple short story. Can you imagine a triter title? She said, Agatha said when she heard it was going to be called Murder Most Foul, which I just love. I love those little bits. My friend Claire, shout out to Claire, who doesn't listen to this, but she doesn't.
Well, don't shout out to her.
Yeah, but shout out to her because when she reads my stuff, she loves the Agatha Christie correspondence. She's just so funny. Yeah. And she still quotes some of it back to me now.
She's quite wry, isn't she?
Yes.
And she can be quite tart as well.
Yeah. Right. So here we go.
So we're now investigating the most recent murder. We seem to have moved very far away from all the other murders that have taken place. Sodium cyanide.
So to go back to the book, reprint, there is also the fact that Collins had a real panic when they realised how strongly Agatha Christie felt about not having a reference to the film on the paperback. And this is vital, a memo went out to say that Mrs. Christie feels strongly about this and we must show her the suggested wrapper for Mrs. McGinty's Dead before going ahead, which for paperbacks you generally didn't see, but it was obviously seen as that too important for this.
Which you'd never do now. You'd never do a paperback version of any author, but your big author.
Yeah, the idea
just
that
go,
you just
she doesn't need to see that. Especially one with, quite strong opinions, I think it's fair to say. And there's no reason why she shouldn't.
So in April 1964, Agatha Christie writes to Lawrence Bachman to say, your practice seems to be to invite me to see a film after it is made. And what, I may ask, would be the point of protesting then? You did know what I felt about the Gallop one. I've been dreading having to see Murder Most Foul. My general attitude is that I am prepared to suffer in silence up to a reasonable point. So for her, this has gone beyond reasonable now. And Lawrence Bachman did say in an interview a few years later that I'm not sure Miss Christie was right to complain because she always said her stories were too slow and old-fashioned to film unless they were chopped and changed. I mean, you can't have the great detective holding up the action for 3 chapters while he lectures on crime. I have to say, I think Mrs. McGinty's Dead is snappier than this. I feel that you get absolutely carried along with it much more so. Wow, look at that, Tash. Are you envious or what?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking to me. He was talking to a police constable on the screen. No, sure, some of the stories need a bit of refashioning to work in a different medium. So does every story, newsflash, that becomes a film or a TV show or a stage play or whatever. But the trick is to have a more astute crew doing it. I think.
I think that's
and
it.
To not lose, like you say, the original snappiness that does exist. For example, snappiness that does exist in the source material.
Well, and that leads me to actually something I wanted to ask you, which is what are your favourite adaptations? Like, which ones? I'm not just talking about the Rutherford or Swinging ones here, but in terms of Agatha Christie adaptations, what are the ones that really work for you? Because I've said before that for me it's things like the Billy Wilder winners for the prosecution that keeps the source material but adds to it, freshens it, makes it work for the screen. What about you? What are the ones that really work for you?
It's not a particular innovative thing for me to say, but the one that immediately springs to mind is the 72 Endless Night.
Oh, wow.
I do just think that evokes the feeling of reading the book being slightly sinister, very modern, slightly charming, slightly romantic, nice to look at, bit queer, a bit camp, and then ultimately really blooming harrowing.
Yes.
I think it just nails it. I really do. And I love all the aesthetic choices. It helps that kind of style is very much in now, I guess. It'd be interesting to see if I feel like this if we're listening back to these in 10 years' time. But yeah, that is the one that immediately springs to mind.
Oh, interesting. I think you're like me, though, that you have that for me, things come in and out of my favour. Like sometimes I'll really fancy a particular type of adaptation or a particular type of Agatha Christie, and then I'll move on to something else. And, I remember really loving the Poirot short stories when I was doing the Poirot book, and I loved watching them in the series, and I haven't touched them since. But I don't know if that's just because I did them so much.
I must say my most rewatched adaptations is easily the first 3 seasons of David Suchet. I will watch those 3 seasons pretty much on a loop and not often go further than that. I very, very rarely rewatch the back end.
Oh, really?
If at all. Although I will say I've not been as quite as gung-ho about Five Little Pigs in the past as some people are, like Kemper on All About Agatha. But when I was really ill and I was at my mum's, the Suchet version of that was on telly, and I think the consensus is that's a really good adaptation of it.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And I watched it and I thought, yeah, that's an amazing, because it's in at quite an awkward point for the series where they're not really sure what they're doing in the middle.
Had really good reviews, that one.
It's a really good adaptation. The cast is brilliant. Aidan Gillen.
Annette Badlands in it with like 2 lines. I know. I remember chatting to her about it when she was at the festival going, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And that led me back to the book, and I did actually really much more appreciate the book on that reread, whereas before I'd found it a little bit dull, I won't lie.
It's definitely a book that improves with rereads, which is why I think it's sort of it's gone up in people's estimations, because that's the way it works with that sort of thing.
I still think people say it's amazing because he goes to the Five Little Pigs to hear their testimonies and then he works it out. That's not true. He goes to loads of different lawyers. He goes to the Five Pigs. He then goes to them all again. And gets letters from them. And it's like, it's a bit more repetitive.
I haven't read it for a long time, not since the Poirot book.
But I do love it. Is this the same dress she wears for the party at the end?
I was just wondering the same. Film? I think it might be. It's certainly
she
quite
looks
similar.
Great. She looks so classy. It's like, is it like black velvet maybe?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
We're in black and white, so it could be green, but
that's true.
And she's carrying some flowers on opening night rather than shoving them down her costume. Her brassiere.
So I do say in the Marple book, I think particularly, about how he just smirked the whole way through these 2 films, that young man. That the whole psychic bit just feels so weird. Like, I don't really know why that's in this film.
Parachuted in from another film. Is it
that's
a note
exactly
from
how
someone,
I say it.
or is it?
I say it feels like she's wanted in from another film.
Yeah. Even the musical score beneath her then, underneath what she was doing then, it felt different to the rest of the scoring. I will say a disappointment of this film for me is that we remarked last time on how often the theme music occurs in the score, and I love the theme tune. It's so integral to these films, and it's not in this one as much.
No, you're right. It's like it's going for a different atmos, isn't it? So here's a few reviews.
Don't interrupt Margaret when she's penciling her eyebrows.
That's very true. I'm sorry.
You may continue.
So I thought it was interesting, Films and Filming, which is more of a trade newspaper, that it said that the genre is out of tune with the times, of course, which could go a long way toward explaining its popularity, which is very often the case, that people do. That's why these things are comforting, not cozy, but they're comforting because they don't really change in terms of things like their basic structure of, we have suspects, we have a crime, it will be, solved by the end of it.
But it's funny to think of it as out of touch with the time, whereas I would say they're timeless because they're ever popular.
Well, interesting.
Which is kind of the point they're making.
Yeah, yes, but also it seems to be that whoever wrote this review thought that this was actually set in the past. Because it says, part of the conceit is to pretend the adventures of Miss Marple are happening now, while the pleasure is rooted in that aura of the middle distance.
So they must not have noticed the TV in her cottage.
Maybe it's a really old model. It's all very neat and smooth and soothing, and so long as they keep it like this, Miss Marple must stay. Oh, well, thank you for coming to that conclusion. The Daily Mail wasn't so keen. But you think this would be prime Daily Mail sort of viewing, to be honest. The comedy thriller. This comedy thriller is neither side-splittingly funny nor breathtakingly thrilling. Well, I don't think you'd expect either of those things. You wouldn't expect it to be side-splittingly funny or breathtakingly thrilling. You'd expect it to be entertaining.
It's not those things. But it's that doesn't mean it's bad.
Gosh, empty seat on opening night. What a thing.
Well, that's because we couldn't afford too many extras.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a big old theatre for what is essentially Amdram.
Yeah.
They have a lot of seats to fill.
Yeah. It's a nice set. I mean, you'd kill for that, wouldn't you, in
I like
community theatre?
The eye above the fireplace.
It's quite... it's like the eye in... there's in lots of sort of horror films, but also Endless Night.
Yeah. See.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course, we're in a attic in Soho, aren't we?
Yeah.
But not
it's
from
the rats,
the 60s. Yeah.
Someone's going to get shoved out the window. Of course, if you get shoved out the window in the mousetrap, you just fall in the snow. Fall a couple of inches in the snow, you survive.
So in America, this was, as I say, the fourth film, and critics were starting to be a little bit less sympathetic. I love it. Gold.
Shiny
it's got to
tape.
be gold.
It's got to be gold,
isn't it?
She's so fashionable.
Come in, Eva. She should have known you were going to say that.
Good old Marple. She should have known you were going to say that. Because she's a psychic. Very good. Oh, she's got a knife.
Yeah, she's not really holding it with much conviction, though, is she? You wouldn't be that scared.
It's because it's a stage knife.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we'll just go in.
Just have a little comedy squeak as she pushes it.
Margaret Rutherford looked at her as if to go, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Should I have interviewed you at some point?
Yeah.
Boston Globe said invention is occasionally thin. A logical progression of clues, that's kind, turns into intricate confusion by the time half the story is told. And the New York Times said that basically they're too familiar with this sort of thing now, and it's a bit boring. Familiarity breeds ennui. And
they're too familiar with this, are they? They're in for another at least 100 years of it. So
I think the Rutherford ones in particular.
I see.
But I noted the Montreal Star did talk about fidelity, because it said that the only moviegoers who might not enjoy Murder Most Foul are Agatha Christie devotees who simply cannot stomach Margaret Rutherford's delicious misrepresentation of dear sweet little Miss Marple. There you go.
Well. Oh, the play's going wrong.
Oh, yeah. But is it meant to be a comedy?
Well.
I don't think it is. Yeah. Everything's a comedy if you play it that way. Laughing. Yeah.
Oh, some more lovely silhouettes.
See, and I think it says a lot that I am going to spoil it, to say that we actually we've barely seen the murderer, who isn't in the scene yet. We've got less than 5 minutes, or about 5 minutes left of the film.
Yeah.
And we haven't even been given a good reason to expect them to pop out from the shadows.
No.
As they will surely do.
I don't feel we've had enough from Craddock.
No, I agree.
Compared to the last two films. And I really like Bud Tingwell. I think he's a really good presence in these films. And like I say, you can tell that Rutherford enjoyed working with him. And
see, I feel like there's a way that this could be really creepy and extended. But look, that's so silly.
She just runs away.
Yeah, because she's scared of... who could it possibly be? And I do like these sorts of things, that Evelyn can be a male name as well as a female one.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's all very clever, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, very nice.
So his cover, his alibi is that he's on stage, but he's not. He's down here about to have a pop at Miss Marple.
I'll say that's a nice clue. That's something I could believe. That feels a bit like it's one of a locked room mystery, rather than I could see that happening in Christiana Brand, who we had the talk from Tom Mead the other day who was talking about Christiana Brand. But I've only read a couple of her books. But Death of Jezebel's got this really gruesome and interesting idea as to how someone could just appear to be one thing, not they're not. You should read Death of Jezebel, actually. It's really interesting.
I just can never put down rereading Christie for long enough to do other Golden Age crime writers. I'm sorry.
I know what you mean. But I felt like during COVID in particular, I was like, right, well, this is the time when I can actually, because I was starting to feel a bit of a fraud to not know these writers other than the occasional book that I'd read. So I was like, right, I'm going to read more Niall Marsh, more Dorothy Sayers, more Christiana
it depends
Brand.
what we study, what we sort of, explore next as Christie time, really, because I put a lot of time into reading 60s stuff for that reason, because I wanted to know my stuff.
Yeah. But also, you've got to, not everyone is, apart from John Curran, nobody knows everything. Whereas if you ask John Curran about any of these people, he'll be able to. And Tony Medder as well. Yes.
We're rattling through everything now, aren't we? Because as you say, there's not long left of the film. We've got the confrontation. We've got to explain why he did it.
Yeah, and here's the gun, which we're expecting. They're not blanks. Yes.
An insurance man.
Yes, here we go. It's always, yes, she's been a fencing champion. I think that might be next film that she's a fencing champion.
Oh,
yeah.
Gunshot.
Yeah, Miss Marple shooting with real bullets.
Oh, that's what I remembered. Oh no, did that hit Craddock as well? Oh, bless him. How did they not hear that?
I know, sure. I heard something. But then that's in the play. He's supposed to have heard someone from behind the curtain.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I'm not sure how well that would stand up in court, to be honest. Another victim of Miss Marple's trap.
She's got blood on her hands, as Margaret Rutherford. Oh dear, is all she can say in her defence.
I mean, in a court of law, the first thing you do is like, okay, no one actually saw you behind the curtain. Let's see if you could escape. Yeah, there's a trapdoor.
Do you think that sign for the dispensary is a nice little reference?
Let's assume.
I mean, we're just in a random ward. Why would there be a dispensary next door? Feels like a nice little Agatha Christie.
Because it's a stock set.
Reference.
He's happy to see her.
Dispensary that way. And she's
Chief Inspector.
Oh, he's now Chief Inspector. He's been promoted, and she's given him the same old tired flowers that she was given on stage at the premiere.
I was going to say that she took out
shoved down her unmentionables.
Must be dried.
Honestly, that's been the narrative of the film.
Oh, there's Ron Moody going.
Now we're lying around with Ron Moody instead of standing around because he's broken his leg.
I mean, it's like if you've got 5 minutes left of a film and you've got a comedy tag bit of it, it doesn't feel like that murderer James Bonham got enough time. Gosh, that was just like Dolly Parton on the back of that magazine. Oh, yes. That is such an actor or such a writer thing to go, while you're here, I've got a new... That, and that's me as well, yeah. I've got an idea for something else I could write.
I mean, we're saying this about squeezing in at the end of the film. Of course, in these days, we have all the credits at the beginning, don't we? So we do have the full runtime. Whereas now you get 10 minutes before the end of the film, you're wrapping up because you've got 10 minutes of slowly scrolling credits.
Oh, it's Time magazine, I think it is. Sorry, I'm just looking.
A little insight into the way your brain works is spotting these little things.
It looks so like Dolly Parton. Like there are pictures of Dolly Parton from the late 60s.
I am definitely no angel, says Margaret Rutherford's Miss Marple. No, you're not. You're an expert on wickedness.
Yes. And look. Oh, well, that wasn't Margaret Rutherford, actually. But still. Oh, Murder Without End is the next,
is their next production. Play. There you go. As they ride off into the sunset. Took a bit of a odd corner there.
Yes.
Not the best driving I've seen.
I like... See, I think that if you watch this as the fourth film, that's actually quite a nice way to finish it, of Miss Marple going off with Murder Without End behind.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that was very pleasant, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Yes. Yeah, thanks for joining us, listeners.
Thank you. Yes.
Do pre-order the Swinging Christies book.
Yes,
do also
please.
pick up Agatha Christie's Marple, Expert on Wickedness, which is available in paperback, excitingly.
Yes.
And of course, stay subscribed on this feed. We're dropping episodes every month, and we've got lots of exciting plans, unexpected things as well, like directions that I'm not sure people will expect us to take.
Oh, okay.
And
I know what these directions are.
Well, you will soon. And of course, we've got Westmorpod as well. Do keep an eye out over there too.
Yes. And as ever, please do get in touch. So you can find us on Instagram at Christie_time. Our Blue Sky is christietime.com. You can email us at christietimepod@gmail.com. Our website is also christietime.com. YouTube, we're at The Swinging Christies, or for our other podcasts at Westmorpod. And Gray's website is grayrobertbrown.wixsite.com/GrayRobertBrown. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Mark Aldridge and Blue Sky at markaldridge.info, which is also my website. Yes, thank you for joining us. Do keep swinging.
Keep swinging. Thanks for listening. I know it's Agatha Christie, but it's got to be fun. The Swinging Christies is a Christie Time project by Dr. Mark Aldridge and Gray Robert Brown. This episode was recorded on the 19th of April, 2026. Our artwork is designed by Bartlett Studio and Tom Double, and our music is by Dar Golan.
Keep swinging.
Keep swinging. Woo. Are we? Imagine if they announce us as the new hosts of Strictly.
Oh, it's too much of a secret.
Have I given that away now?
You did say unexpected directions.
Yeah, exactly. That's the unexpected direction we're going in. You're the new Claudia and I'm the new Tess.